This tutorial will show you how to use the basic features of Microsoft Word appropriately. The first thing that you need to know is how to open a document. So we go to File, Open, and then we go to wherever the file is located. So for example, this one here, you double click on it and the document will open. The next thing that you need to know is how to save. So we've got two different options there. We've got Save and we've got Save As. File Save will, if it's the first time, ask you for the location of the file. If it's the second time, it will just overwrite your previous save. If you want to give the file a new name or make a copy, then you would use Save As. So I'm going to use File Save As. I'm going to go to my document folder. There's lots of different folders that you can click on, but I'm going to go to my document one and I'm going to give it a name. And then I'm going to press Save. And that has now saved it into that location. When you're saving, you can save your file as different types. So if you look there, that's the file name that I chose. But if I go to File, Save As Type, there are lots of different types of files that I can save it as. So for example, if I wanted to save it as a PDF document, then I could click PDF there. If I wanted my document to be compatible with other Word documents, a good one to click on is Word 97 to 2003, because this one will make sure that it's compatible with other Word documents. So there's lots of different ones there that I can choose from. So if I wanted to do PDF, I click PDF, and then I press Save, and it comes up as a PDF on there. So now I want to get a new document, so I go to File, and then I click on New. Then I've got here some different options, but I want a blank document, so that's the one I'm going to choose. And I could double click there, or I could click Create there, and it does exactly the same thing. Notice I've now got two windows open, so if I didn't want that piece of work open anymore, I can just click back on it and cross it off. So that's just saving and opening files. If I wanted to change the username on a file, I can go to File, I can go to Options, and this is the username. So that's my current username, but if I wanted to delete it or put Computing Department instead, then I could do that, and that would set that username to Computing Department instead of R. Franks. The other functionality that you can use in Microsoft Word is the Zoom tool. Now this means that you can zoom in and you can zoom out to get your screen to the perfect size. So at the moment my screen is set to 140%. If I wanted it to be a specific number, I could click on that 140 and I can type in there 80, press OK, and it changes to 80%. If I wanted something a bit larger, then again I can just type it in, 150, OK. So now it's much larger on my screen. So that's just a useful tool so that you can see things that you might need. The next tool is inserting an image. So we've got there Insert, and then we've got Picture, and this will insert an image that is saved on my user area. At the moment I've got this one in my Pictures folder, so I'm just going to put that one in. So Insert Pictures, and then I click on the picture that I want to place in there, and then it appears. Now if I didn't like the size of that image, I can drag it smaller using the drag handles, or I can go to this feature up here and actually type the dimensions that I want. So if I wanted it to be 5 centimeters by 4 centimeters, I can type that in there, in that box. So I'm going to delete that now because I don't need that anymore. Now I'm going to insert a clip art. So insert clip art is pretty much the same as a picture, except you can choose some different options over this side. So it says search for, and it's already got flower in there. So I'm going to press go. And I'm going to choose a flower to place into my document. So I click on it, and then it appears, and you can just do exactly the same as we just did, so changing the sizes, typing in if we need to. Now if I wanted to make some changes to the images, I've got different options up here like artistic effects. So if I wanted to choose a different effect on my image, so I wanted to make it like that one, I could make some changes. Some of them do better than others. Okay. I can also change the position of my graphic, so I can align it. I can use the text wrapping. So I've got square, I've got tight, I've got in front of text. In front of text is a useful one because that means you can then move it wherever you want. You can also add borders to images. And there's lots of different options there. Or picture borders over here where you can add your own borders. Because I've got a setting on there, it's not appearing properly. Okay. So the next feature is to insert tables. So the table that I want to do, so I've gone to insert, I've gone to table, I want 3 columns and 2 rows. So I just click 3 by 2. If I wanted to use more than is on this grid, then I could click on insert table and I could type it in there. But because I only want 3 by 2, I'm going to do it like that. Then I can place my headings. And now my table has got some headings. If I didn't need a column anymore, I can click on it. And up here you've got different table tools. That's all to do with the design. So if I didn't like the design and I wanted to change it to something else, I could choose it there. But if I wanted to change the layout, I can actually go to this part, and that gives me loads of options for changing the layout. So if I wanted to delete this column, I could go delete and delete columns, and that's deleted the selected column. If I wanted to delete that row, I could go over to that side, again delete, delete rows, and that's deleted the row. The other option is that I can adjust the height. So up here I've got height and I'm inside that row. So if I increase it there, you can see it increasing down below. And the same for width. You can do the same thing. If your columns were all uneven and you wanted them to become even, you could highlight the table and then it says distribute rows or distribute columns. If you press columns, then they'll all distribute evenly. So it looks like a neater table. The next thing is auto shapes. So insert, then I've got different shapes here that I can use. So for example, an arrow. If I click on the arrow option, I can draw arrows. Again, I've got all these drawing tools now appearing, so I can change the fill, I can change the outline. So there's lots of different options. I've got this green circle here that I can use to rotate that shape, and that just allows me to draw useful diagrams in my Word documents. The final thing is to insert a chart. So you might want to put some data on. So a good way to do that is to actually use this feature, which is similar to the feature used in PowerPoint and Excel. So if I go to Insert Chart and I click on Column and I press OK, it now opens up a separate spreadsheet where I can put some data in. So if I just wanted something very simple and I didn't want those 2 columns there, what I can do is I can drag this blue line in so that it only looks at these. So if I said pets, for example, dogs, cats, fish, rabbit, and I just put some numbers in there. You can see now that it's created a chart for that. If I just press the close button, I've now got my chart there.